When I was about 2 or 3, the age when children start to speak and start to say a few words, my mum noticed now I would sort of say certain sounds for particular words. Like I would see a cat sort of out the window and I would say ooey instead of cat. And she sort of noticed that I would say the same sounds for the same words. And that's when she began to sort of worry that I might have a problem with my speech. She took me to see the doctor who arranged for me to have a hearing test, and the hearing test came back all clear. She then I went to see a health visitor and they sort of said, oh, he's very young, you know, I'll probably see him in a year's time and he'll probably be sort of saying thousands of words, you know, you probably won't stop him sort of speaking. And we sort of saw the health visitor a while later, and my speech still wasn't, you know, as it should be for a child of that age. And that's when they sort of diagnosed me that I had a speech problem. I was lucky enough to get a place at Rushmere Hall Infant School, which had a speech and language unit. And I went there from just before my 4th birthday, and they had a speech and language therapist there full time. So I got a lot of speech therapy from a very young age. And then I went to Sygate Lane and I was at a mainstream school, but I was still in the special needs unit at Sygate. And then sort of slowly, as I became more confident, I went into mainstream classes, and after probably about 2 years of being at Sygate, I was moved into mainstream class full time. I had speech and language therapy up until the age of 16. It wasn't sort of every week, it was sort of every other month I would go and see a speech therapist at a clinic out of school. And I had to have an hour's practical session with the speech therapist, sort of going over any sort of words that I've been struggling to say, and going through practical tasks. I was sort of given homework to do by the speech therapist. I'd had to stand in front of a mirror and do these sounds in front of a mirror and watch myself doing these sounds. And I did that every evening. I'd stand in front of the mirror and practice my purse and my tuss and my bus. When I was younger, I felt very alone. I was very frustrated that people couldn't understand what I was saying to them. It definitely affected my confidence when I was younger. I really sort of struggled to make friends, and that sort of obviously made me feel really sort of lonely. At junior school, some children sort of bullied me a little bit, and it was the same at infant schools, and that had made me sort of wary of people. So I sort of found it very difficult to speak to people and to make friends. I left school at 16. I then went to Northgate Sixth Form to resit some of my GCSEs, and then I went to a college which specialised in business administration, and it was a YTS scheme, and I gained MVQ level 2 and level 3 in business administration. From there, I managed to get a job at an insurance company. That was my sort of first ever job, doing administration for an insurance company. And from there, I had various jobs in insurance. And I now work for a electricity distributor, and I'm part of the management team there. I have 3 children. I've got Thomas, who's 8, Grace, who's 5, George, who's coming up to 3. I've been married for 10 years this year, and I have a really good, well, really perfect family life. I think definitely having speech therapy from a very young age definitely has helped me develop my speech. The other things are, my mother's quite pushy, and she wouldn't stop until I got the help that I needed. And I think the third thing was having the support of Afasic. Yeah, we had some brilliant times with Suffolk Afasic. We used to meet up, and I remember going down to Felixstowe and having a day on the beach at Felixstowe. We had Christmas parties where Father Christmas would come in, and they were good because I was with other children who had the same difficulties as me. My parents could mingle and speak to other parents and get advice and give advice to other parents who were experiencing the same difficulties as them. I'd definitely recommend that any parent with a child with a speech and language disorder, definitely pushes, all the way for the help that their children needs. You come across a lot of obstacles, but you must keep pushing and pushing and pushing until you get what your child needs.